I hope this works. Hey, what's up, y'all? We're just waiting on Tamerone. As soon as Tamerone comes in, we'll get the live started. Okay, can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay, so hey, what's up, you guys? I know we were trying to. Did you want to wait for people to come in, or did you want to go ahead and get started with our conversation?
Now let's go get started. Let's get this party started, baby.
Okay. So, as you guys know, we're going to talk about how loving the wrong person will cost you. And it will cost you. But, Tam, before we even get started, what is the wrong person?
Well, for me, the wrong person is somebody that has never been on your agenda. So, what I mean by that is, I'll talk about myself first. When I say, for me, I even started at a young age when I started dating. I already knew uh, what my perfect man was. You know what I'm saying? He had to be independent. You know, he had to have some kind of stability. Mm-hmm. He had to be strong-minded, smart. You know, I had this lump sum of things that I would want in a man, you know, at 16 to 15 years old. And I'm pretty sure it had
probably younger than that.
Probably younger than that, but I didn't really just get really into it until I was like 15 or 16 or something like that. Mm-hmm. But my biggest thing, I was always interested in mysterious men, the quiet ones, you know, the ones who don't do too much.
What is doing too much?
Doing too much, attention drawing, checking, running up behind everybody. Those guys, I wouldn't even blink at. I don't care how fast you is. You want the one for me. You doing too much, right? Mm-hmm. And so when it comes down to dating or trying to find a special guy or whatever, you want to start with what makes you happy and what you want. Just being around a lot of different women and hearing a lot of things that goes on in their personal lives and relationships, I've noticed that a lot of these women don't think about themselves and what make them happy, and just overall think about the future. What exactly is it that they want? Like, if you want a successful relationship, marriage, children, you know, then, like I said to begin with, stability, mm-hmm. smart, somebody motivating for themselves and for you, you know, family oriented, all these things needs to be on your, your list of what kind of guy. For some reasons, like women to me are scared to request it. It's like it's almost like
so we say women are scared to request it, but are men scared to request it as well? Are there men that aren't going after what they want, or is it more so, do you feel women?
I feel it's women because I've talked to men and they absolutely had no problem with being outspoken about what they want. You know, I want a big booty. I want some breasts. I want a woman that cook. I want a woman that clean. Men are more verbal of what they want, mm-hmm. and but a lot of women are not. They deal with a lot, and mm-hmm. they don't have to. It's okay to say, hey, when I started dating you, You know, I thought you was gonna be like this. This is kind of what I'm interested in, you know. And if they're not willing to change or willing to make a way to give you what you want in some kind of way, then hey, you ain't for me.
Also, men are quicker to cut women off when they aren't what they want. You feel like
Yeah.
women will
Yeah.
stick with men that are not what they want in hopes that they change.
Yeah. But and you know what? As a woman, it's okay to let a man change. You give them time, you know, because it do take them time to change and figure things out and all that. Because women can be way more mature minded, and we're faster when it comes down to stuff like relationships and stuff like that. But
I got a question. So a lot of women, you said they really don't know what they want, or they'll choose men that they think are what they want, and they'll still stick around in hopes that they change.
yeah,
It may have something to do with their upbringing. So,
yeah.
do you come from a 2-parent household, and were your parents married?
Yeah, I come from a 2-parent household. They were married, happily married. I watched my dad treat my mom incredible. He cooked, he cleaned, you know, and he did his due diligence. You know, I love to walk in the room and he polishing my mama's toes. It's like, oh, okay. And, you know, hearing him say stuff to her like, you know, I like this red polish on your toes, baby. And I'm like, oh, okay then. You know, as a child, it's like, but now I'm holding my toes out. My husband like, babe.
I gotta step away real quick. You can keep talking. I'm listening. I gotta step away real quick.
Yeah. And so, you know, my mother, I watched her, you know, take care of my father, you know, as far as, you know, fixing his plate and, you know, making sure he had what he needed as well, fixing his lunches and stuff like that. So I was able to see the marriage part of it, you know, not necessarily understood it, but until I actually got into a relationship, the importance of it. But I did see it growing up.
So you were exposed to a married couple. So do you feel like when you were picking a partner, or when you kind of were putting together, hey, this is what I want, this is what I don't want, you had an understanding of what it means to be in a marriage?
Yeah, and then I have an older brother too, so I was always had a male in my life to do anything because I was the first daughter. So I was kind of spoiled, you know, And so I was just talking to my husband about this today because we was talking about
your husband.
I see him. We was talking today on our bike ride about men in our lives. We had this issue today about this bug trying to get me. And so I'm like, get that bug. He's like, you can get the bug. And eventually I told him, when we get off the camera and stuff, he was like, why you like that? I said, babe, that's what I got a husband for. I shouldn't have to kill a bug. I ain't never had to kill a bug. When I was growing up, if there was a bug in my room, I would call my dad. He would come get that bug. And if my dad wasn't there, I would call my brother. And he'll come get that bug. But baby, you took me under your wing and away from my parents. So now you got to get that bug. So I've always had a male to do things and be there. And, you know, and I know a lot of women don't have that. So, and this is really important. But, you know, even beyond that, you still have a mind. And I don't care if you a man or a woman, you know what you want in life. You know, you know how you want to live. You know, if you want to live a convenient life, you know, if you want to go to the top, you know, if you're comfortable, like, you know yourself, you know, if you're willing to put in a lot of work, a little work, if it even matters. So it starts with what you want, and that goes on both ends, man or woman, because that's the only way any kind of relationship gonna work is if you know what you want, because that's how you find your mate.
Yeah, so first of all, I feel a lot of people don't necessarily know what they want. A lot of us will look at TV and TV will tell us, oh, you know, he should do this and he should do that. So I want what I want based on what other people say I should want, and not necessarily what I want. So knowing what you want from what you're saying starts with knowing yourself first. So you have to know who you
Right.
are. I went to school with Tam, so Tam knew who she was at a young age. Uh, Speaking on, do you and your husband are both very ambitious? I see it all the time. It's a man dating a woman who has no ambition, or a woman dating a man who has a lack of ambition. Do you feel people can make it work if one person is ambitious and the other person isn't?
Yeah. Yeah. And
Hmm.
the reason why I say yeah is because my husband, believe it or not, is way more ambitious than
But you
I
have
am.
ambition. You have ambition. You're not like, I don't want to do that, or I just want to chill. You have ambition though. I mean, like,
I do, but I do have
zero.
my
Like, this
days.
person over here has zero ambition, and this person is just very. Do you feel like a person that's up here can make it work with somebody that doesn't necessarily have drive?
Yeah. If they're patient, I would say
Mm-hmm.
yeah. If that person is patient, I will most definitely say yeah. I wasn't always ambitious. So, and, and I'm just being honest because that's all I can do. But I wasn't always ambitious because I was always spoiled. People will always do it for me. And so when I got with my husband, he was way more ambitious than me because he didn't grow up in a household like I did.
Mm-hmm.
And so, he was able to teach me a lot and still do every day.
Mm-hmm.
He's able to teach me. And so I've had to pull away from uh, that spoiled baby life I had growing up and actually really become more uh, serious about a lot of things and more of a go-getter instead of just give it to me.
Okay,
You know
so
what I'm saying?
what steps did he take? We talk about the wrong person, but you make my perspective change,
Mm-hmm.
because it seems like if a person is dedicated to being with you, they will grow with you. What about your husband pushed you in the direction to say, you know what, I want to boss up? What did he do to support you in bossing up?
I mean, just to watch him, how happy he was doing what he wanted to do in his life, uh, how everything about him was always family. That was like my biggest thing with him that I absolutely love is how much it was like everything he did and it was for me and them kids and our children, our family, with growing. These are words he would use with me all the time. He would always talk about finances, which was one thing that was on my list, stability. So all he did was talk about finances, educating ourselves on this and learning this and this has been since we were young. When we first started dating and we was in college and different things like that, these are conversations we were actually have. So
Mm-hmm.
we was actually planning our future. We weren't even married or nothing yet, hadn't even had kids or nothing, but we was talking about how to make some money, how to do this, one day we're gonna buy a house. These are just dreams we would just talk about every day on our dates, on a walk, laying up ain't just about laying up. You lay up, then you roll over, talk about what we're gonna do by the end of the year. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's always conversating, always communicating, always with us. And so it just helped me to kind of really grow and tune into a lot of things that was going on around us. And so I can really say that we have really made each other better. And like I said, the way he grew up was way different than the way I grew up. He grew up in like a single parent home and I didn't. And so the things that he saw growing up, I didn't see.
Mm-hmm.
So we able to kind of communicate with my life, his life, what we want in our life, what we want to take from my family, what we want to take from his family. Can we use this? And just puzzle our lives together.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's just how it is. Now, when you go back to talking about how we met, a lot of people don't know me and my husband.
We're gonna save
story.
that. No,
Okay.
we're gonna save that for when I interview both of y'all. So
Okay.
the story of how y'all met will be saved for when we do the in-person. Because it's such a beautiful story. So we're gonna save that story for the in-person meeting. It is very juicy. So you guys do not want to miss when I have them on. And we are I was talking to somebody about this today. We live in a sneaky link generation. You guys are hey, I'm just keeping it real. We live in a sneaky link generation, and you guys to be like you're so young and you accomplish so much. You both are dedicated to your marriage. You both speak so highly of each other. Even you being right here, like even when he was on my podcast, you both support each other. What advice would you give to somebody who is in a situation where maybe their partner doesn't see eye to eye, or is with the whole sneaky link thing and down with what the generation is doing and is unsupportive? What advice would you give to them about walking away from that situation, like and actually looking forward to somebody who's more so on their level or looking towards being married? Like what advice would you give to them?
That goes back to what do they want? Mm-hmm. You know, some women, and I can't speak for everybody, but from the ones I've been around, some women just want a man. Mm. And if they just want a man at home, I just want a man. I want to say I got a man, you know, then they may be okay with it. But if you get a list of things that you're wanting in life, you know, things you need in a man. Like I said, stability, you know, you need a strong-minded person. You need somebody that's going to motivate you. You're not that motivated, you know, you need somebody that can pull you. Then that's on your list. And so if this person is not doing it, number one, I will talk to them. Let them know my concerns. Let them know, hey, this is what I want. If you cannot do this, I can't continue this with you. I'm not happy. You have to be okay with saying, I'm not happy. This is not what I wanted. You know, be okay with saying it's not okay. Mm. You know, just say it. You know, a lot of people are so scared to speak their minds, and I can't really speak on that either because I don't know their situation at home. If it's an abusive, is it, you know, whatever, to the point where they can't say anything. But if you're in a relationship where you absolutely can, and there's even calm ways where you can, like, you know, cook dinner, sit down, talk, say, look, okay, we've been dating for about 2 years, and I genuinely really like you. You know, you get a couple of things, you know, in you that I've been looking for. But this right here, I just can't. I absolutely, this is like the major thing that I need you to work on. Are you willing to work on this? Is this something that you feel like we can change together? You know, make it something that you're going to do together. You know, express how important it is to you. And if they love you, they're going to adapt to your needs. You know, they're going to work on it. You know, my marriage ain't always been perfect. There's been times where we had to make adjustments, conversations, talking. There's been days where my husband had to put me in my place. There's been days where I had to put him in his place. Like, look, the plan was this, you know, and we ain't at that mark, you know. So this is what I want to do in life. Okay, well, I need to step up and do more, or I need to step up and make this adjustment or this change. And they will do it if you are the partner for them, you know, or they genuinely care about you and what you want. Now, if you feel like you don't want to change, or you don't want to adapt, or you don't want to make any kind of moves, then you're not the person for me. At that point, it's time for you to kind of start backing up. Now, if you choose to go another 2 to 3 years, you can't blame nobody but yourself, because right now, going and talking to your significant other, that's the first step. Because the only way you're going to get the life that you're looking for, or the person that you're wanting, or the father that you need for your children, or the man is actually going to be your husband, is to communicate it. You know, stop the first thing you do is you just want to just lay up. Well, if that's the first thing you want to do, then that's pretty much your relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And, but if you go into a relationship, you like, look, okay, look, I enjoy that, okay? However, I enjoy this more. So, this is what I'm looking for. You just lay it all out at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Let them know these are my expectations. We ground. These are my expectations. Can you do that? Are you willing to do that? Do you want kids? Do you want to get married? And which leads me to this right here. A lot.
You dropping gems, sis.
A lot of women go to me, and let me tell y'all something about manifestation. You have to
Pam
be
always
real.
dropping gems. I'm sorry, go ahead.
You have to be real specific with the things that you ask for and the things that you speak on, because a lot of times you will get it, right? But you may not get it how you want it. And what I mean by that is, I've heard a lot of women say, girl, I've been dating this man for 2 years. If he don't give me a ring by the end of this year, I'm mad at her. Well, sis, you might as well go ahead and leave, because if you continue to ask a man for a ring is a piece of jewelry. A ring is a piece of jewelry.
I wish I had a mic so I could drop it.
A man will come to you like, you know what? All you want is a ring? Okay, here you go. Ain't nothing. $2,500 ring. Bam, there you go. And you're going to be like this, I'm married. And then it's going to be like 4 years later. She still got that ring on, but you asked for a ring. If he ain't gave me a ring by the end of the year, but that's not what you want. You want a marriage. You want a unity. You know what I'm saying? So you speak on that. You say, man, if that man don't marry me, if he don't marry me happily by the end of this year, I am gone. You know what I'm saying? That's how you manifest what you're wanting. You're wanting a marriage. You don't want a ring. I don't even wear my ring all the time. I'm wearing it because I'm on live. But I ain't wore my ring in 3 days.
But you're still committed.
I'm with my husband every day. We've been on dates every day. We riding our bikes. I am married. You understand what I'm saying?
But you're in a successful marriage. So what are some of the things, because people want to be married. People want to get married to certain people, but sometimes the person that they want to marry is not for them. I think some people think marriage is a quick fix to a toxic relationship. They think it's like a magic pill that once they put the ring on and they cross the threshold, all of a sudden this person is going to change. Can we speak on that?
Well, sometimes it can be, though.
But not all the time.
And that goes...
It depends on the person.
Huh?
It depends on the people.
It depends on the person, because if you come from a damaged relationship, right, that you did not know what you wanted, you just jumped for, he was fine, he dressed good, he smelled good, all the girls love him, he like big shot on social media, riding clean, hey, but he wasn't for you. He wasn't supporting of your dreams and the things that you want to do. He wasn't trying to grow with you. You know what I'm saying? And so you end that, but you end it knowing your worth, right? So you meet this other guy, this lame guy that don't have all of that. And then you date him. He actually steps up and marry you, number one. And so now y'all living y'all life, and he's introducing you to things you didn't even know was even out in the world. He's offering you things and educating you on things, and you can actually see yourself and feel yourself growing. He has something to put on the table. He's offering you something. So with that, a lot of times you will change. You know what I'm saying? You're going to change for the best.
I got a question. So can we talk about the difference between, because I think a lot of people think lame and gentleman confused, and they get lame and gentleman confused, and they get simp and gentleman confused. Because just because a man has good qualities, like he opens the door, he's a protector, he's a provider, he wants to date one woman, that does not make him lame. He's a gentleman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think people go after those the bad boy image, and then they try to commit and then change. Why not commit to the person that's a good person already?
Right, and I'm gonna be honest with you, some of them lame guys is a tough man too.
Yeah.
Because they get thuggy too now. All right, so a lot of people back in high school thought my husband was lame, right? But my husband ain't nowhere near lame. He thuggy.
But you know the funny thing about that, I wish we could compare people's bank accounts, because the thing about lame is a lot of people that are considered lame are their own person. A lot of people that call people lame, they're living for other people. Yeah. So I think we got to get out of the mind frame also of committing to men that are living to please other men, because there's a lot of men out here who want to be, they don't want to be men to a woman. They want to be men to other. And this is not even about sexuality. This is about trying to fit in with other men and not bossing up and growing up and being a leader, being a provider, and owning that. It's nothing to be ashamed of. If you're a man, own that.
Right. Well, to just kind of sum that up, most real men ain't gonna be hanging out with a whole bunch of men. I'm just gonna be real with it. You ain't gonna see them riding around with a car full of dudes. You ain't gonna see them standing around with a whole bunch of dudes. Most real men is too busy handling business to even might have time for that. They out here working hard for families, for their family, themselves. They growing their mindset. They educating themselves. They not even be trying to, you know what I'm saying, compare with another man. You ain't around them enough. You doing your own thing. Matter of fact, you're leading. It's men trying to see what you doing. They trying to follow you. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I envision a man. A man is doing what he's supposed to do and what he feel he have to do. You know what I'm saying? And that right there is attractive to me. That's attractive to me, and that's what I saw in my husband. That go getter. That's what I saw.
Intelligent. So how do women get away? It's a lot of predators online, a lot of men, and y'all gonna be mad at me because I'm some of these men, okay, there we go. Some of these men will get online and they will inbox a whole bunch of women the same thing, and they will prey. They'll prey on women based upon how you post. So let's say you say, man, I just been dogged out and I'm just waiting on somebody to love me. And then now you in the inbox, man, I would never do you like that. Now how do women stop from being preyed upon by men with bad intentions?
Number one, if you in my inbox, I don't want you. I'm just gonna be honest. You in my inbox, I don't want you, because you know what? It automatically hits me that you think I'm vulnerable. I'm just trying to clear my head. I ain't got no close friends. So Facebook is my friend. So y'all, look, I'm having these issues. I'm sick of these men and blah, blah, blah. And then here go my inbox. And I'm like, I was just venting, And so I would just delete all that. I have done it before. I've gotten mad and did my thing, and I speak my mind years and years and years ago, and talk to people, and they was in my inbox, and I didn't.
What I was saying, Sam. So give us some examples, because somebody might be going through this right now.
Well, like I said, if they inbox you immediately after you do that,
that's the indicator.
I wouldn't. Matter of fact, I just wouldn't. Some people probably feel like, well, girl, what if that's your future husband that's sitting there that really he looking well? Don't come to me like that. It's a way you can probably approach me. Matter of fact, don't even mention what I just vented on. Maybe you can inbox me and say, hey, I just use Shamika. Hey Shamika, how you doing? I haven't seen you since high school. I ran across your post, and I said, hey, I ain't seen her in a long time. And, I don't know if you in a
Don't get them the game, Sam.
Okay. All right. Well, now I'm helping myself out. You know what? I'm helping them out.
They gonna do it.
I'm gonna help them out. You know, ask a woman how she doing, how she feeling. Don't just go instantly in it. Oh man, you know what? I be the one to pay your bills. I get your nails done. I do this. I do. You know what? You selling me too many dreams in my inbox. Delete. Now you done got completely deleted. You know what I'm saying? Because you just telling me what I just told you that I need. So you're gonna tell me, and it's just too much. And then I decided to step off and date you, and you ain't none of that, because that ain't you. That ain't you.
Right.
You just telling me what I want to hear, and I don't need a man to tell me what I want to hear. I need a man to do what I need him to do.
Baby, you're talking that boss talk. I like that. I like that boss talk.
That's it, and but that takes you back to who you are as a person and what you're wanting. If you want stability, don't date a man that ain't stable. You know what I'm saying? And make sure you're stable. Make sure you're stable before you ask for a stable man. Because it's not fair. It's almost like, I just want to take your money. It looks gold diggish. You know what I'm saying?
Gold diggish.
Have your stuff together before you start making requests. Or at least be on your way.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Or get somebody that's on your level. If you got $10, find a man that got $10. Now y'all get $20. You see what I'm saying? And then grow from there. But don't have 0.75 cent and then think you're gonna get you a $100,000 bank account having man. You know, that ain't right, because everything gonna be on him. So it's got, and I'm not really big on that equal 50-50 type thing. I'm not big on that. I'm big on we got it. We a team. If you ain't got it, I get it. If I ain't got it, you get it. But at the end of the day, it's gonna get done. Because we a team. And that's how I think, and that's how my husband think, and that's how we work and make stuff happen. I may not always know, but he know. You know, I may not always have it, but he have it. Or he may not always have it, but I get it. And so that's how I roll with that one.
Okay, so what qualities, because we are millennials and a lot of people still continue to pick, I guess, the wrong person, what qualities do you feel at this day and age, once you get to an age where you're actually looking to settle down and get married, what qualities do you feel people should be looking for?
Well, I would say communication, number one. Goals, number two. What are your future goals? Mindset. Do you want children? You know, your expectations. All of that plays a big role in any kind of relationship, because at one point in your relationship, you're gonna bump heads on those subjects. And if you're serious and this is something that you're really interested in and doing, then you should really already know what you want. You shouldn't get in a relationship and you don't know if you want kids or not. You should already know that you know, eventually within the next 2 to 3 years, I want a baby. You know, in the next 4 years, I need to be married. If you go into a relationship knowing these things, then a lot of times you will find the person that you're needing and that you're wanting all at the same time, because you've had these conversations, you've communicated this, you both have. I know what you're looking for, what you're needing, what's on your list, and you know mine. And so we've talked about it. We've set goals. You know, we know how we're going to make it to those goals as well. So, you know, it just starts there. It's a long list of things that you need, especially if you're thinking about marriage, because even though a lot of people don't like to say it, but finances is the number one thing when it comes down to marriage. It's not the love. It's not the love. You can marry somebody and don't even be in love with them. You'll grow to love them. But financial stability comes first. You know, you got to be comfortable. You can't grow and you can't grow to love if you're not comfortable, if you're not happy, if you will bump heads all the time. You got to have strategic, you know, in your relationship. You got to constantly talk every chance you get, every day, all day. Sometimes you have to talk too much, you know. And what I mean by that, I don't mean talk about what your friend doing with her baby daddy and your cousin. I don't mean gossip. I mean, you have to talk too much to each other about life, you know, your childhood. Uh, that was one of our biggest conversations, was our childhood, talking about that, because how we were raised and how, you know, we grew up plays a big part in how we grow our, you know, raise our children. And so you have to um, most definitely, most definitely understand that. That plays a big role. And that's something that I'm still continuing to learn, you know, especially, like I said, me and my husband, we both was raised in differently. I was raised with both parents. He was raised with just one. And so a lot of things we have to talk through. We have to communicate through and understand. There's some things, you know, he may feel, oh no, you don't have to do that, and then I say, yo, no, yes we do, and this is why. And he had the opportunity to think about growing up with this situation, and then think about my portion of growing up, and then we can kind of understand how it can go better or worse. And that's how we make our decisions with a lot of things. We have to communicate. That's how we grow, not just in our business life, but as a person. I've grown a whole lot. Like what y'all see on social media and stuff is growth, but we work through a lot. And it all started with communication.
Question, because there's a right and a wrong way to communicate. How do couples effectively communicate without yelling and screaming and being toxic? What tips do you have?
Oh, well, with that one, again, it starts off with the personalities, number one. If you know, you got to know your person. If you have a person that's already toxic, you know, that don't like to let you talk, then you got to come up with, you got to strategize with that one. You got to work. You got to, it's all in how you say it. And what I mean by that is in your tone. You know, sometimes, because most toxic people had issues in their past as a child, right? And so a lot of times they can have like triggers. It's not necessarily you. It's just triggers from their childhood or something that happened to them in the past or whatever. And certain conversations, it could just trigger it and it just make them act out. And so that's why it's very important to talk about your childhoods and different things like that when you first start dating. That way, your significant other can have the opportunity to, number one, see if they want to even deal with it. And then two, to kind of be more understanding when they do come to you, you know, to talk. Like I said, sometimes it could just be your tone. You may feel like, well, I ain't have an attitude, or I wasn't loud, but it could have been a little attitude, or it could have been a little loud to them, because that's a trigger. So if you, for example, if you had somebody, you know, something as simple as leaving the toilet seat up, you know, it's like you go to them, you're like, even though you're low voice and you're like, you know, I went to the bathroom for the 5th time and the toilet seat was still up. You know, I'm kind of tired of blah, blah. Well, that I'm kind of tired for the 5th time, you know, that's a trigger. It's like you talking to me like I'm a child. Now I'm mad. But if you come to them a little different, matter of fact, with me, if I come in the bathroom and I've told you 4 or 5 times about this toilet seat, then I'm one of those people, I'm just not going to worry about it no more. I just keep me a bleach spot and a paper towel, because you my man anyway. And when I come to the bathroom, I'm just going to talk mess to myself. I'm going to say, you know what, I'm so sick of this, but I'm going to spray that toilet, I'm going to wipe it up, and I'm going on about my business, because I've said it 5 times and you're still doing it. So it's like, I'm just one of those people where I just do it myself, and then I don't have to worry about their confrontation. You know what I'm saying? Some confrontations can be avoided.
So choosing your battles within relationships instead of.
Yeah. Like I said, you don't. Sometimes we just don't know how we can trigger a person, or especially if you're not communicating as much as you should. It's just all play, no seriousness. You have to be serious in a relationship. You have to have those sit downs. You have to talk about things that you don't want to talk about. I don't like to talk about death. But I'm married, so I need to know, look, do you want me to bury you, or do you want to let them burn you? What do you want me to do? Do you want to be buried together? Do you want to find, what do you want? It's like, these are conversations you just have to have. It's like, we don't like to have it, but we have to. Look, do you want one wife, or do you want two wives? I'm just curious. We've talked about that, polygamy. Look, do you want one wife, or do you want 5 wives? He'll say, girl, you like 5 wives and one. I ain't got time for that. But then answer my question. It's like, talk about what you don't want to know, and then talk about what you do want to know, so you won't have no surprises. And be understanding and be open-minded. If you're asking these questions, then you can't be mad or upset with what the answer is. You just got to learn how to work through those answers, because you're looking for them, right? Because if this is the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with, you got to understand them and what they're wanting, and what they're needing, and as well as it has to work for you. So, yep.
Is there any, because I feel like is there anything else you wanted to say to our viewers? Like, is there anything on your heart about, because I do feel that picking the wrong person will cost you in the end, but from you and Robert choosing each other, I feel like picking the right person will bless you. But ultimately, I feel in some ways there's no wrong or right person. It just takes two people wanting with a determination to make it work.
The only way that it would be the wrong person is, like I said earlier, is if you continue to accept what you're not needing or wanting. If you go in a relationship with that list of all the things that you're needing for you to make you happy, because in order for you to have a successful marriage or relationship or whatever it is you're trying to have, in order for it, whatever, to be successful, you have to have some kind of understanding with it. So if like I said, if you know that you want stability is a big thing on your thing, then why would you go and spend your years with somebody that's not stable? If you know that you want kids, then why would you spend all this time with somebody that don't want kids? If you know that you want to be married, why would you spend all this time with a person that don't even want to be married?
And he
want a sneaky, what you call it, sneaky link? He want a sneaky link, or she want a sneaky link. It be women that sneaky linking around here too. And so, it's like, you gotta go.
I just learned what that meant on one of my things. I was like, sneaky link, what is that?
Well, I've been hearing that a lot. So I'm like, sneaky link, what is that? Is that a STD?
We grown.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what that is. At first, I kept hearing people say it. I'm like, is that an STD or something? I'm like, shit, what is that? But y'all can keep that sneaky link thing. I'm one of those folks where I ain't got time for that. I'm too busy, and I make sure I keep him way busy. Okay, ladies, look, keep your man busy. If he be sitting on the couch, look, keep him cutting that grass. Keep him take him out. Keep him busy. Let's go bike riding. Let's do this. Hey. Keep your man busy. Men, keep your women busy. And y'all, like I said, go into relationships and marriages with what makes you happy. Have these discussions, because, if you've been with somebody for so long, you've already had those discussions about the things that you're looking for, you're needing, you're wanting in a relationship, in a marriage. And then 3-4 years go by and you re-insinuate that conversation, and you're like, hey, look, it's been 4 years and we're still not married. It's been 4 years and I still haven't had my first child. It's been 4 years and your paycheck still ain't made it past $2,000, bro. Okay, it's been 4 years you have to re-insinuate that, and you have to be okay with saying it. You can't just not say nothing and think he's gonna change by himself. Because if you don't say nothing, he thinking everything good. Oh, she okay with me bringing home this McDonald's check. She okay with working doubles. You know, she okay. He thinking you okay. You know what I'm saying? But if you're not okay, say I'm not okay. This is not what I signed up for. I told you when I first started, you know, when I first met you, that this is what I want. It's been 4 years, and we ain't knocked nothing off this list. Girl, look.
Girl, you sound like
make
some
changes.
Oscar for this performance.
It's like we gonna make some changes,
right? Exactly.
Or I'm gonna make some changes for me. Because I'm not getting younger. I'm getting older. I'm about to hit 40 and I ain't got no babies. And now you're telling me you don't want no babies and we've been together 5 years? Okay, then I need to start making some adjustments.
Facts.
All right. So, and that's how you don't end up with the wrong person, because you had an understanding at the first time. If you end up with the wrong person at the end, it's your fault. I'm sorry. It's your fault, because a lot of times they're going to show you in the beginning, after the first year anyway, probably the first couple of months, who they really are. Men get real comfortable, I say, after 90 days. You know who you marrying. You know who you with. It's like, if you choose to overlook it and think he's going to outgrow that, then you can't throw that in his face years later, because you seen it. You already seen it. It's like you already seen it. So it's still your fault. You can't blame the significant person, whether it's man or woman or whatever. If you both come into the relationship already knowing what you want, you have that discussion, you talk about it, then that's the time where they can take that deal or leave that deal on the table. I want babies. I don't want kids. Hey, the dinner was great, bro. The dinner was magnificent. Thank you so much. But if you don't want kids, then I'm not gonna push it on you. You done already told me.
What if they come back and say, you know what, I do want kids? Do you give them another chance, or do you just let it go?
I would give them another chance, because maybe they grew up. You know, maybe they had a change of mind. But after a year, we're gonna insinuate that conversation again. We're gonna talk about that conversation again. And if you hesitate, if you not really into the conversation, like, yeah, I can't wait. I hope I had me that boy, high five. I hope I had that girl. I'm be a girl daddy. If you ain't excited about it, then you really don't want kids. And now that was my last strike. You don't get a third. You don't get a third. And I'm not going to come back and date you a month after I left you, because you ain't going to change your mind in a month. Now, a year later, hey, if I ain't with nobody that want children, then I might date you again.
What advice do you have for people who know that they're in a bad situation and they want the strength to like they're like, but I love her, I love him, and it's so hard, they're comfortable. What advice do you have for them as far as just cutting ties? Like, what steps should they take?
Whew. I ain't the one to tell you to leave. I never tell a woman or a dude to leave. But what I will say is, if it's a domestic thing, if it's an abusive thing, to where the reason why you can't leave, then, you know, I can understand how you would have to come up with a strategic type way of leaving, or getting out of that. But if it's something like, you're comfortable, he paying all the bills, two things that I heard women say that he paying all the bills. Okay, so he paying all the bills, so it's okay for you to sit in the house with all these kids all day while he go out and parlay and sneaky link.
She's talking to okay. I don't know who she
It ain't okay, because you know what? It's another man that's out there that want kids, that can't find a good woman, that will take your kids in, take care of you just like that man, paying all them bills and treat you like a queen. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to stay there. You choose to stay there. So again, like I said earlier, it all falls on you. That's your fault. If you choose to stay there and you have an option, you know, to leave, and you just don't want to leave because he's paying all the bills, you can go to work. You can come up with to do something on the side. Like, you can. Like, I ain't gonna go down this road with
Don't go
conversation
down,
I had,
Don't go
because I
down
don't
the
want them to be
road.
like, oh, I can't believe she's saying that. But, I've always been a woman to want my own and a hard worker and, make sure, I have what I need for my mindset and my mental, and I've always been that way. I've always knew what I needed in my life, what I wanted in my life, how I wanted to live my life. Even at 20 something years old, I knew that by the age of 30, I wanted to get my house built. I wanted to have a house built from ground up and bought by the age of 30. I closed on my first house that I got built 2 weeks before my 30th birthday. You know what you want in life, and you're going to speak on it. Like I said, that manifestation, you know what you want, you speak on it. My kids, when I got pregnant with my first child, little Robert, I knew that when Robert was 4 years old, I wanted to try for another child. We had that discussion about another child, and Kayla, which is my daughter, was born on September the 14th, which was a few days before my son, September the 25th. When Kayla was born, little Robert turned 4 years old. You know what you want. You can manifest it. You can speak it into the world. You can make it happen. You just have to.
And you don't have to settle from what
you don't
this
have
conversation is basically about you're not having to settle, and also if a person loves you, they will grow with you.
They're going to grow with you. And a lot of times, like I said, it starts with communication. You got to be open. You got to speak what it is you're wanting. They're not magicians. They're not going to just magically say, oh, okay, she ain't saying nothing, so I'm doing the right thing. And the whole time, you like, I can't stand him. He don't never take the garbage out. He don't never straighten the bed up. All I want him to do is straighten the bed up when we get up in the morning. I don't ask him for nothing else. We'll say that. Say, look, I go to work. The least you can do is straighten the bed up. I'm not happy. Something as simple as that, and you come home the next day and the bed's straight. It's like, whoa. You excited now. It's like it gives you this feeling because you spoke up for yourself. You said what you wanted. And it just overall make you feel good. It make you feel good, because you don't have that stress anymore. You don't have that. And so, it's okay to say you're not happy. It's okay to say you want more. It's okay to say what you're needing. This is your life. This is your life. If something happened to your significant other or somebody you dating or whatever, you got to start over. You got to start over. So you need to make sure that whatever situation that you're in right now, you're okay.
I have a question. So I want to talk about intimacy as well as keeping it fresh and still dating your partner. So how do you guys keep it fresh?
Well, are we talking about the relationship?
You're so funny. Hey, we got a shameless plug coming up. Go ahead and
we
do
talk
a
about the relationship, right? Keeping it fresh, keeping it
both.
Okay,
so let's get into this Yoni steamer.
Oh, okay. See, that's why I was asking. Now, you talking about keeping it fresh, or you talking about like keeping it fresh, like okay? So it's for So for people that don't know that's watching, of course, I have a organic herb infused soap and bath company, and so with that, I create and make organic bath products. That's your soaps. That's your yoni steams, your yoni bars, your milk bath soaps, and just everything that you're needing to relax, right? To make your skin soft, to make your skin glow, to smell good naturally.
I do for your relationships, you guys.
Yes, look, I love to smell good. And I don't have to put a lot of perfume on to do that. And the reason is because
when I say she smells really good. We went out to eat, was it last month? And I was like, I
You
was
was
like,
like,
you got on
what
time.
is
You
that
smell
smell?
so. She smells so good, child.
And I didn't even have perfume on that day. I think that day, all I did was took a bath with my I think it was my lavender and pink Himalayan sea salt soap, and I used my oatmeal and lavender scrub in the bath and did my face and stuff. And I was out of there, and I met you. But it's all about the hygiene, right? A lot of people don't know, but when you use organic products, it helps to detox your skin, detox your body. You know, sometimes we eat bad food, right? And then when we sweat or whatever, work out or whatever, sometimes we may not personally smell it, but people around us can smell the detox, the sweat, all the nasty foods that we eat and different things like that. Commercial products don't help with that. It covers it, you know, or make it worse. It covers it or make it worse. But when you get into the organic products, it helps to remove that. It helps with odors. It helps, like I said, to detox. It helps to soften. It do everything that you're needing naturally, right? Like right now, I look like I have Vaseline or oil or something on. I haven't oiled my face. I just washed my face with like my lemon lavender oatmeal bar. It has essential oils in it. The oatmeal that's in there is like a polisher for your skin. So it naturally just kind of knock off all that dead skin and lighten your skin
Complexion.
up and just soften it.
I got a question regarding all these products. How important is hygiene in like while dating? How important is hygiene in a relationship, such as soft skin and smelling good?
Yeah, but it changed your attitude too, you know. So I talk about me because that's the only person I can talk about. You know, when I'm getting ready for a date with my husband or whatever it is, you know, and I take my bath and we out, you know, the same reaction you had when we met for lunch. I get that every time we go on a date. You know, I can be ordering my food and he's smelling my neck, and I'm like, "Hey, what is you doing?" He's like, "It's just this smell. It's like this, you know,
you smell good,
and it's sexy. You know, it makes them more attracted to you. It's just something about you. You're just so soft. I can't keep my hands off you. You just, you know, so it's just, you know what I'm saying?
And it makes you feel good as a woman to know your husband, like he like, woo.
Yes, you can kind of tell. It's like, me personally, when it comes down to being sexual, we all grown, you know, and I'm married, so I'm for it all, you know, and you know, and so I don't really want to, you know, if you smell like pee or you got the same drawers on all day, or, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know if I want to, you know, do grown folks thing today. I ain't interested. And then the first thing, you know, people say is, "Oh, you always pushing me away," or you not, you know. And it could be that just like, "Oh, I ain't putting my back on it today." It's like,
do you sell your products for men and women, or just women?
Both. My products are for men.
So the men need to be fresh also. Men.
Yeah.
They said, I read this meme that said men nowadays are smelling like weed and disappointment. So y'all don't want to smell like weed and disappointment. So
I agree with that. When I go into the stores, I like to, you know, I'm married, but you know, when you go into a store and somebody walk past you, a nice looking guy that's clean and groomed real good, walk past you, he smell good. You know, you may not be like a man, but like, woo wee, he fine. You know, you may not do
but
that.
You're gonna be like, oh, he smells good.
Yeah, you'll be like, oh, he smells good. You know, and it's attractive. But then you have some people where you get ready to walk in the Nike store, you be like, damn, it smell like booty. You know what I'm saying? You don't wanna smell like booty or that. He must just get out of work, or you know. It's like, ugh, you know, you don't wanna.
He must just got out of work.
That's a turn off. Now I can't speak for all
men and women. Let's keep our hygiene up. So that
I can't
loving the wrong person.
Some women like that masculine. Some women like that masculine smell, and some men, I've heard men say, they like the smell of a woman, which is that, you know, what people know is that fishy smell, or, you know, that's an aroma. That's like a whistle. That's like to let a man know that you're ready or whatever. You know, I've heard men say that I'm okay with that smell. It's loud. That's your scent. It's like a calling. It's calling for me. It's like, and for women, you know, that it's like, ugh, you know, I don't know. But as a woman, I don't like to use public bathrooms unless I absolutely have to, because I hate when I walk in the bathroom and the only stall that's available is the one that smell like fish just came out of. I just want to find them in the store and give them one of my business cards. That's
So
what I be thinking the whole time.
We gotta keep up with hygiene. So hygiene
You have
is
to keep up with
important.
hygiene. You know, you as a woman, you just have to want to, whether you're dating or not. I mean, even if you're not dating, you should want for yourself to smell good and look good. And you know, a lot of people don't know, but shit, when me and my husband separated for a second, and even though I wasn't really dating or with other men, I continued my hygiene. I would still take my showers in the morning and my baths at night. I would still make sure I was doing my yoni bars. I was still making sure I was doing my steaming. I was still, you know, moisturizing, hydrating. You know, I was still taking care of myself, combing my hair. If I can't get, like now, if I can't get to
so still, even if you're not dating, make sure to take care of you.
Yeah, even if you're not dating, because you'll be surprised. You may walk in Walmart and find your husband. All because you smelled good. You know, you walk past him and he's like, man, you smell so good. What do you have on? And they can straight, you know, like struck a conversation and exchange numbers. And, you know, it can really
lead to
hygiene can really just take you along, right? It's like, just comb your hair, you know, just, and I can't talk, I'm not going to talk down on nobody at all, you know.
No, I'm tickled.
I don't speak on my side, but I don't go to the store unless I take a bath. I don't care if I'm just running to the store to get some milk. I'm going to hop in that shower and I'm going to put some clothes on and I'm going to go to the store. Okay? Just because you're going to run to the store and get the baby some milk don't mean you're going to go in your pajamas and your house shoes. You are a woman. You should always look your best. And that's for me. You know, everybody may not be like me, but I don't walk out my door unless I'm dressed for success. Look, before I get on this live, I had on my muumuu, my $6.50 muumuu from Walmart, baby. But because I'm on this camera, I put on my button down and comb my hair.
I know that's right.
You know, I took a bath, and y'all can't even smell me, but I wanted to. That's just me. I want to be presentable at all times. At all times, you'll never know who you will run into. And for me, no matter where I go, I'm going to run into somebody. I went to the vegan festival this past Saturday and ran into almost 10 of my customers. I ran into friends from high school. I ran into so many people, and everybody wanted a hug. It's like if I didn't take a bath or had good hygiene before I went, it's like I probably would have been the talk of the town. You know, like, oh, I ran into Tamerone at the festival. Must be there. You know, she was a little loud. Maybe it was hot outside. You know, you want to always be presentable. Always have some clothes on. You want to always, because you never know. Even, you know, if you're trying to grow a business, well, you never know. You may walk in the store and be presentable and find somebody that wants to invest in your business. You know what I'm saying? If you want to get into a school or something, you know, you may walk into the store and you already dressed for success and run into the president of the school or something like that. And then they're like, you just never know. You got to always be prepared, you know, anytime you walk out the door, anytime, you know, you'll never catch me with no bonnet on. But, you know, I don't, and I do wear them. I wear bonnets. I wear pajamas. I do all that. I just
speaking of bonnets, y'all need to subscribe to Sam and Robert on TikTok or follow their Facebook pages. The last video y'all did was hilarious. But back on topic, do you feel let's say that a person has all the qualities of a good mate, but the person that wants to date them is not attracted to them? Do you feel people should date people they aren't attracted to based on their qualities, or is it one of those things where there has to be an attraction?
Well, you said that if somebody wanted to date somebody that
Yeah, let's
had all
say
of that.
let's say somebody met the guy of their dreams on paper. Like he checks all the boxes off. Or this man met this lady, she checks all the boxes off. But they're not attracted to the person that checks off all these boxes. Do you feel like attraction is a big thing? Do you have to be attracted to the person that you're dating?
Hell no. The reason why is because the person that you fall in love with, the person that you like, the person that's in front of you right now may not look like that 10 years from now. They may not look like that when y'all get old. Eventually, they're going to be wrinkly. Eventually, you know, stuff may stop working. You know, eventually, you know, all these things, you know, that's awesome and grand that you looking for, it may not be like that later on. So when it comes down to your looks, I'm not looking at that. You know what I'm saying? Like when I told you, when I met my husband, I didn't say he was fine. That ain't what I said. I said he was unique. He was different. He was calm. He was to himself. He was smart. These were all the things that I seen.
You looked at his character.
I looked at his character and I knew he was for me because that's on my list. I want a man that's smart. I want a man that's, got it all together, that can figure it out, that can grow me as a person, that have something to offer. Mm-hmm. I ain't worried about, because you got a bald spot or you get like bumps on your face or and then you got bumps on your face. I'm Shell's aromatherapy. I'm gonna fix you anyway. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna help you out with the bumps, but I can't help you out with your bald spot and all that. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm sure
it's
you
like
come up
all
with a
this
concoction.
stuff. I don't really worry about that. I'm not into now I'm gonna tell you one thing I am into. You will never see me date a light-skinned man. Now my biggest thing is you gotta be chocolate, you gotta be black. Now that was just my thing. Now that's something. I don't care how many blocks or locks you get checked out. If you are red bone, I cannot date you. Ooh. I just can't. And so that's the only way I wouldn't. And it's if you light skin. I'm sorry, light skinned brothers. Y'all good friends. Look, y'all good friends. But I've never been attracted or even stand to date a light skinned man. Ain't nothing wrong with it. It's not my preference. But you can be ugly all day long. If you chocolate, you got me. That's just how it was. I've always been interested. Because I don't know, it's something about chocolate men that just make them seem, they're just more stronger to me. That's just how I am. And so everybody's preference may not be my preference. But that's the only thing that will keep me from going that route, whether you have all the boxes checked off or whatever. And you may date somebody that don't have all the boxes checked off, but is willing to grow and change and adjust to get their box checked off. You know what I'm saying? So, and that brings it back to communicating. That brings it back to, just being honest in the beginning of what you want and not waiting 4 years later and then saying what you want, because it's like pointless. You don't wasted my time for 3 years. If you knew you didn't want a man like this, then why would you even date me? You got me, taking care of your kids, got me, now I'm hostile. Now I'm toxic because I'm mad because I don't waste my time with you. It's like you just gotta talk about it at the beginning. You gotta know what you want at the beginning, and if you're not quite sure what you want, say that too. It's okay to say I don't know what I want. Right. Let's just date, and if you do something that I don't like, or we communicating, and you answer a question, and I don't like that question, I'm gonna write it down. I'm gonna re-insinuate it to you later and be like, okay, I asked you this, and you said you weren't with it. I kind of dated you a little longer to see if you would make some adjustments and keep, talking to you about it. But you seem to be kind of firm with it, so I don't think this is going to work, because this is what I'm needing to be happy, and if you're not trying to be on the same level with me, then it just won't work.
Okay, thank you so much, Tam. We're going to wrap this thing up. But before we wrap this thing on up, I want you, so we already plugged in Shell's Aromatherapy. Do you want to plug in any social media pages for people to follow?
Well, what I would say is y'all go to my business page, which is Shell's Aromatherapy, and give it a like and follow. because I'm gonna have some really good things that's gonna be popping up on my business page as well. I think a lot of people already follow my personal page, but y'all go to my business page on Facebook, Shells Aromatherapy, and you can go to my Instagram, which is Shells Aromatherapy as well, and like and follow those pages. I have very good information that's gonna be on there. I'm gonna start putting skincare routines on there. We got some new products that's coming out that we're getting ready to launch. Y'all don't want to miss it. And most definitely go to my website, shellsaromatherapy.com, and subscribe, y'all. We got and I think I already posted, so I'll go ahead and say we got Easter sales that's coming up where we'll have about up to 30% off the website, certain products. And so if you're looking to correct your skin or looking for some relaxation or whatever the case may be, you go ahead and subscribe, get your 10% off when the sale hit. You will know because I'm going to shoot out an email and a text, and you will have your coupon. You'll be ready to rock and roll with Shells Aromatherapy.
Thank you, Tam. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time. We'll on Tap In Tuesday. Next week, we will be talking about friendships. What makes a friendship successful? Haters in friendships, being a boss, and linking up with like-minded friends. So we'll be talking about it. Our frenemies, all that. See you guys next Tuesday. Say bye, Tam.
See you again.
Bye.